Hey guys, welcome to my hardcore world, and my name is Mike James, otherwise known as It's Me Mickey T, and 6 months ago today I embarked on an epic journey to start a Tolkien inspired fantasy world, and I thought there's no better place to start than building a Moria inspired dwarven mega base. But I've spent 6 months mining out an area which has involved 15 days of my life being spent mining stone after stone, in which I would love to continue doing this. So if you wouldn't mind considering hit that subscribe button and the like button, it's really going to help out the video. And with that information, let's go ahead and jump right in. And again, another very quick pit stop to repair all the pickaxes. Then we head back to the base. And the first job today is to go ahead and extend the hallway pathway out into the new entranceway. Now let's go ahead and back and get some pistons from our trusty source, although we may need some more. Grab patates, trade in for emeralds before trading the emeralds in for golden carrots, where we can now come back down and finish off placing down the pistons and carrying on the detail through to the entrance. But we're back to the base again because, as usual, I ran out of certain materials. And there's the pistons finished. And so I finished up this area by attempting to experiment with blending in the surroundings of the new city area into the pathway that the dwarves would have laid leading into the city area. And on my quest to get better at actually finish off projects that we started, I've headed down to this area where we're going to go ahead and dig out about 50 blocks down, clearing out our way so that we can come back and build up the side of this cliff. And upon discovering a whole labyrinth underneath the base, I decided to go around and light it all up to try and help increase the efficiency of our creeper farm, where I accidentally ended up getting its spreads challenge completed, so yay. So after spending another hour mining, I headed over to repair our pickaxes once again, in which, now that we've returned, I was feeling a bit inspired to come back outside and do a little bit more work on the mountain. So I'm going to go ahead and gather some materials in the form of some dirt and a little bit of cobble. Then we'll probably need stone, but we'll come back for it in a second. As we've headed up the left hand side of the mountain entrance, our goal here is to start using dirt because we want to have this transitional period where it kind of goes from dirt into stone, and we need to go ahead and start making the mountain kind of extrude outwards as it's coming towards the base of the mountain a little bit. So we're kind of going to go for the same technique that we've used previously, except we're going to do it a little bit more horizontal than we are vertical. In which, after a very hot second, I realized that it's probably going to be way easier to actually build it from the bottom and go upwards to where we want to go, rather than try and backwards engineer it all the way down. And we fly away to just kind of have a quick look and see how it looks, and it looks kind of okay. Yeah, I kind of like that. We kind of got this slightly steeper bit here, and then we got this kind of more gradual bit as it comes down, and then it kind of follows it up. Yeah, we can get on board with this. Now I just need to go ahead and try and connect this up. And we may need to do a little bit of blending, but I may come back and do that a little bit later on because we've got quite a lot to get done. So let's just go ahead and bomb it together. And in getting started with this, my only goal here really was to try and improve my texturing skills a little bit using andesite and cobble in order to try and make it feel different but still a part of the same terrain, by making it feel as if here was where the dwarves would have kind of put the little bits of rubble and just bits that have fallen off the cliff would have landed here and just grown naturally into the landscape. But it was just a nice transition from the stone into the dirt. And And we'll go ahead and take a look at this, and it's looking pretty good for a very beginning. And I'm actually getting really like excited, because I am starting to notice that I am getting a little bit better with the texturing on my build and making things look a little bit natural, as my idea here was to kind of tie in the dirt with the stone and make it seem as if when the dwarves were kind of carving out their mountain, that they were kind of just pushing the rubble and building the rubble up on the sides, and it kind of got mixed in with dirt over time, which made up these side bits, as this is supposed to be a carved out area of the mountain. I've still got a long way to go, but it looks pretty cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave this there, as I know it's a bit of a random jump, which I know I'm getting pretty infamous for kind of just jumping around all over the place. But whilst I'm inspired to do texturing and to do landscaping, I want to go ahead and turn our attention back to the entranceway to our new giant city area and build a natural cave roof that kind of extrudes from the top of our gate area. I was going to build some pillars, but I've decided against this and decided to just make it naturally blend in with the roof of the cave and this sort of stalactite that we've got going on here, which needs a little bit of work. So we just need to go ahead and gather some materials from our box of goodies. Then we need to go ahead and get up to the top of the gate without dying. And that's a success. Then, just like we used outside of the base, all we need to do is go ahead and place down blocks anywhere between 4 to 7 blocks high. And then switching up between the stone and andesite to add a bit of texture. Then all we do is extrude the block out by 1 and build up another block. As you can see, there's number 1 done. And upon repeating it on the next block along, all you want to do is actually go ahead and make sure that you make the extrusion of the next level 1 block either above or below the previous one that we've just done. Then, heading back down, we should start to see something looking a bit like this. And additionally, I'm also throwing in the occasional little bit of moss and mossy cobblestone, just to add a little bit of nature and texture in to the ceiling. Well, let's see what it looks like from a distance, and that's looking pretty good. You've got to remember that the goal of this is to make it seem like a kind of natural build-up to the ceiling. And we're going to go in and probably make some tweaks afterwards, but so far, it's looking good. I also think we'll go ahead and intrude the rocks occasionally, just to kind of add a little bit of variance so that it's not always just going outwards. And no wonder our creeper farm isn't very efficient, because we've got stuff like this going on. That's gonna need cleaning up, in which there's no time like the present, as we've ran out of stone, so let's go to work digging some more stone, and we may as well take it from this place to try and minimize the creepers from spawning around our creeper farm. And the inventory's full, so let's just light this place up and carry on. And a quick finishing off, filling in the holes at the top of the area, in which we've obviously got to finish off with a small mossy cobblestone area on the roof, avoiding the creepers. Oh boy. Oh no, you don't, little sneakies. Too many creepers have tried to get me recently. Too many. And whilst we're up here, we'll go ahead and grab this mossy cobblestone, because it'll be useful in the builds to come. And even though I messed up my words several times in that clip, we have finished that segment, and I am liking it. I think it looks really cool. Now, what I'm going to go and do is repeat it on this side. However, I'm going to do it slightly differently, because I was going to actually just go ahead and repeat the same style and kind of make it like kind of curve up to the roof again. But the problem with this hallway is this feels a little bit more deliberate, so I don't want to actually go ahead and mess this area up by making it look a bit messy. And I really want this hallway to be the staple of the Dwarven Kingdom that the dwarves took a lot of pride in building. So I got to work basically building a similar pattern that we used on the front, but on the back side, by mixing up some andesite, stone and cobble as a base, like we did with the archway, and then we're going to build a pattern above the top of it to make it fit with the rest of the build. And with a quick visit to our old trade building, I quickly realized that I really wanted to try and make all of the buildings in this Dwarven Kingdom consistent and use some of the same building techniques that we used for some of the different areas. So I decided to take the deep slate wall and brick build supports that we put in the old building and bring them forward to make a cool little pattern support area for above the gate into our new city. And so with the supports in place, I didn't really have any further ideas about how I wanted to do this. All I knew is that I wanted to kind of add a layered effect to help make the build look a bit beveled. And so I tried using some polished andesite blocks and a few stairs to try and create this effect. Well, we've finished that, and it looks pretty cool, and I'm not sure about this middle bit. I may change this in the future. I kind of wanted to add like a bit of a center mark. I don't really know what I was going for, in all honesty, but it is what it is. But we move on to our last and final project of the video. So we head over here and pick up our shulker because we're going to need it. Then we head west in search of some sand. However, we have found a jungle biome, which is always handy, but no sand yet. Oh, we found a village. Let's take a quick look around the village. Well, it was a sizable village, but nothing really that great, and the sun is setting and we still haven't found any sand. Quick sleep in the bed. Might as well take the gold from around here. I think, was that the only gold block? Is there any more underneath? Huh. We still have no desert biome that I was really looking for, but there is a bunch of sand around here, so I'm going to go ahead and start making some progress into gathering some more. And as I've gone and dug out a sizable area in sand, I've actually just realised we have loads back at the base that I didn't use in the last TNT run. Oh, Jesus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've ran out of rockets, so we're coming in for a very quick, swift landing to restock. Rockets acquired. We may now take off again, ladies and gentlemen. Aha! As we get our tools out, we need our trusty old axe. And we also should go ahead and put away all of the excess stuff we've got in our inventory. I thought I heard footsteps, but no other noises. I thought that was a creeper. Now we're going to go ahead and try and gather up as much as acacia wood as possible. In which I've barely even got a stack yet, and I'm already getting sick and tired of running around tree after tree because they're so sparse and they're always ridiculous. I haven't even started getting mangrove trees on this world yet, and I'm not even already looking forward to it. Like, for real. Oh! I was just in the middle of cutting down the logs and I've just seen a villager outpost. I wasn't even looking for that, but that is fantastic. In fact, I'm going to go and mark the coordinates for that because a lot of you guys in the comments have been shouting at me to get a totem, and I think we could go ahead and take a villager from over here and make a raid farm or a temporary one to get a totem. Except we're not going to do that in this video. Hit F2 and there we are. Now I just need to... I should probably make a document with all these coordinates in so I don't get muddled up with the screenshots and accidentally delete them. I should probably do that after I've done with this video. Anyway, moving on, let's get back to the base. In which, I must admit, it's at times like this with a new PC with a max render distance when you're just flying through the air with your elytra that you sometimes start to wish that you'd gone down a different route in life and didn't end up making an underground base, but instead made some awesome above ground labyrinths? That's not the right word. Above ground bases is what I'm trying to say. But we just need one more quick stop off for some dirt. And just as I'm walking through back into the base, I've also realized I need some brown dye. I'm gonna have to head back to that jungle, but not before unloading everything into these chests. Here we go. So our mission is to get some jungle wood and see if we can find some cocoa beans because, oh, cocoa beans achieved. And I think we can actually make a farm back at the base. All right, let's get our axe out and then the rest is history. There's some wood. And I've returned to the base, and I just wanted to do a very quick test to see what this wood looks like stripped. I I might use it a little bit actually, so let's go ahead and strip these planks and we'll get to work. Hop to our old base to grab some sand. Now we head back down to the city area, down to our creeper farm collection point. Ow. Grab the gunpowder. Oh, we can hear it working, very nice. Run back up here. And begin crafting all the TNT that we can craft. And 2.5 stacks, not too bad, not too bad at all. And then the final task before we can go ahead and start this project is we need to strip some acacia logs again, so yeah. And there's the last one done. Actually, I decided we needed a few more stacks. Oh no you don't. Oh, no. Oh, you got me. I've also low-key found another floor pattern that I really like that I might use in the future. Like, just using these as a way to, like, decorate the floor. Pretty cool for, like, a desert-y themed area, I think. And now we're gonna go ahead and build an entranceway to our new area, so let's get to work. My only idea that I had going into this build for this entranceway to this new iron farm and iron area was I just didn't want to overshadow the building next to it. I didn't want to make it look too busy and clump too many things together, so I kept it pretty simple. And it doesn't look too bad, that, in all honesty. It could be a lot better, but we are on a bit of a time crunch, and though, as everything in this world, you've got to remember, I will probably come back and improve this at some point. There is some elements that I kind of wanted to add up here. In the future, I kind of wanted to add a kind of transport system that the dwarves would use to transport materials around Moria. And such. Really love this idea that I've seen a few other people use, which are like hanging basket type things that kind of go across. But for now, we're going to go ahead and continue sort of detailing the area by adding a pathway to the entrance, where we're starting with a base of andesite, then going through and sprinkling in some cobblestone, and a smattering of tuff to vary the texture and just darken a certain level of areas to sort of add different levels of wear to the pathway. Then I'd like to go ahead and add a bit more of a gradual incline up this kind of like little hill that we've got going on here by adding in a mix of some slabs to kind of just give it a less harsher incline. Then finish off with the odd stone button lying around to make it look like small pebbles. And we just have to finish off adding in a little offcut so that it looks like people have come out of this house and gone into the new mine area. Then I've tried adding some polished andesite. I don't know why. I didn't really have a particular reason, and I don't know if it kind of takes away from the path a bit too much. I was kind of hoping that it would kind of look as if it extruded out the ground a little bit in comparison to the areas around it, but I might get rid of it. Then, using some varied stone, I want to go ahead and kind of create this natural kind of stony outcrop area. I like splattering these around everywhere just because it kind of just adds that little bit more natural kind of element to it. And then we can either go ahead and add in just a little bit of like mossy cobble to the mix to make it feel you know, like a little bit more natural and a little bit more like there's a bit of life in the Dwarven Empire. That'll do. Quick transmission to head outside and grab one little bit of oak. That was literally all I needed. Because my idea here is to add a little bit of life into the world, I want to go ahead and just make a little cart. And in order to do that, all we need is just 2 of these to act as wheels. Place some signs down just to add a little bit of a skirt into it. Then just to kind of make it, add that finishing touch, all we need to do is just, we need to do it on the inside, is just add 3 trapdoors there, 3 trapdoors here, and maybe even add one just around the back here if we can. I think we actually might need to just add a block, so if we just go like this, then like you, there we can dig you up, and there we are. And we've got our nice little dwarven cart, and we can go ahead and pretend like this is being used occasionally. And we might even just... no, I think that'll do. I'm happy with that. It adds a little something. It's a shame that I can't build diagonally. It would have looked good diagonally, but I'm not that good yet. I'm also just curious, as like a tiny little bit of an experiment. Is there a way that we can make a kind of like brazier looking thing with this? I don't know if this is going to look any good, but... I mean, it's not a campfire, but it lights up the area. We had a creeper spawn, and I was just trying to think of something very, very quickly that we could do to just kind of add a little bit of something to the area. But I still need to work on my brazier designs. But anyway, I'm heading inside the new iron farm area so that we can go ahead and start placing down some blocks and creating a floor. And the rest is going to come later on. And we're done. We still need to add a bit of texture into the floor to make it look like a work area. But I wanted to actually go ahead and start utilizing some of the natural terrain generation. And we've got a lot of work to do in here, including hollowing out a huge area. However, we have run out of time. So I am going to go ahead and leave the video there. But before you go ahead and click off onto your next video that you're going to go and watch, I just wanted to very, very quickly ask, how are you guys finding the videos at the moment? One of my awesome moderators in our community came to me the other day with a message suggesting that I should probably improve the sort of dynamic of explaining where I am in the world, as it can get quite confusing as I'm jumping backwards and forwards between projects. And I am absolutely 100% committed to providing you the best videos possible. So if you could please let me know in the comments if you're happy with the way that the videos are. Let me know what your feedback is, if they're easy to follow. Again, I'm not saying that anybody's wrong or anybody's right. I'm simply just trying to increase the pool of feedback so that people can give me the best ideas for moving forward and making the best videos possible. But I've been the Mike James, also known as It's Me, Mickey T, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.